The term trustee is being used here a little bit loosely. Remember, there's the United States trustee, and in some cases, there's a Chapter 11 trustee. The U.S. trustee's office serves as sort of a watchdog. It is a subdivision of the U.S. Department of Justice, and they're tasked with policing the integrity of the system. And one way that they do that in the Chapter 11 context is to closely monitor the debtor's finances. Now, each month that the debtor is in the Chapter 11 case, until the plan is confirmed, the debtor has to prepare something called a monthly operating report. And in that report, there's going to be a detailed sort of financial CAT scan for that particular month of the debtor's financial activity. And generally attached to that are the bank statements for that month. And that's for each account. Now, I should make a little side note here. When the debtor files a Chapter 11, one of the first things we have to do is close all the bank accounts and open up new accounts called debtor in possession accounts. And then all the money is put into those debtor in possession accounts, and all financial activity has to go through those accounts. There can't be sort of the side cash business. And that is so that as the U.S. Trustee's Office reviews the monthly operating reports, the people there can see, yes, this is the money that was coming in, this is what where it's going. Are these legitimate uses of the money? This sometimes comes up where a debtor is using money that in a way that's not authorized by the court. So yes, the trustee will monitor that. Whether a Chapter 11 trustee is going to do that or not is a separate question. If a Chapter 11 trustee has been appointed, yes, that trustee is going to probably be the one to prepare the monthly operating reports, because if the Chapter 11 trustee has been appointed, it means the court doesn't trust the debtor. Now, you might wonder, I said something that might be a bit enigmatic there. The debtor uses money in a way that's not authorized by the court. Perhaps one of the most common ways this comes up is in dealing with something called cash collateral. Well, what is cash collateral? Rather than giving a dry definition, I think an example helps to sort of illustrate what's going on here. Let's say, for argument's sake, the debtor has rental property, maybe an apartment complex, a hotel, whatever it is. And the debtor has a mortgage against that property. Let's be simple, we'll say it's an apartment complex. And so the debtor borrowed money, maybe to either purchase the property or to improve it. And so the debtor has to keep making monthly payments to the bank to service that mortgage debt. Where's the debtor getting the money to do that? Well, from the rent. The tenants pay the rent, the debtor takes the money, and at least some of it goes to the bank to service the mortgage. Now, you can bet dollars to donuts, as the old saying goes, that someplace in that mortgage contract, there is what's called an assignment of rents provision. What is that? Well, it means that not only is the building serving as collateral for that mortgage, but the rental income coming in serves as collateral for that debt, hence the term cash collateral. Now, as long as the debtor is making those monthly payments, nobody cares. That debtor is not going to hear from the bank that, what are you doing with my cash collateral? Because the debt's being serviced. Once the debtor stops making the payments, now that's a big problem. Now the bank is going to say, hey, where's my cash collateral? When the debtor files for Chapter 11 protection, the debtor can use things as long as it's authorized by the bankruptcy code and the bankruptcy court. Well, what about that cash collateral? Can the debtor use that for operating expenses? No. Why not? I mean, I've got to run my business. I've got to maintain the apartment complex. Well, remember, the bank has a lien against that cash collateral. So in order for the debtor to be able to use that cash collateral at all, either the creditor has to assent to that, or the court has to enter an order permitting the debtor to use cash collateral. And even if the creditor informally says, yeah, you can use it, you probably want to go to the judge and make sure you get an order authorizing the use of the cash collateral. Now, sometimes that use of cash collateral can be authorized as sort of a blanket authorization. More commonly, it might be done periodically. Well, you get to use cash collateral for, say, 3 months, 6 months, something like that, and then you come back and let's see where things stand. So that's going to show up in the bank statements, in those DIP account bank statements. Oh, DIP is debtor in possession. DIP account bank statements that are attached to the monthly operating report. So the U.S. Trustee's Office is going to monitor that stuff carefully to make sure that the debtor isn't misusing funds. And of course, if there is a Chapter 11 trustee, that Chapter 11 trustee is going to monitor that as well, primarily because now the trustee has the obligation to prepare the monthly operating reports. And since that person has been appointed, the chances are there's been malfeasance on the part of the debtor. So the Chapter 11 trustee wants to make sure that there isn't ongoing misuse of funds or ongoing mismanagement. So the long and short of it is, yes, the finances will be closely monitored.